Good morning, everyone. Magpie is back. I'm not the only one, but anyway, it's a name. It's a bird I like. By the way, I do like birds a lot. You may not have noticed that. Of course you did. And it's a very warm morning, actually. Well, not warm. I mean the sun's warm. I don't mean the morning's warm. I don't think you can warm the morning. I don't think morning can be warmed. I think the sun is warm and it may be morning. So what I like to do is separate things and get specific. That's one of my favorite things. It's like a hobby. Call it a hobby. I enjoy separating out things and finding out what they mean. Because like if you dig down to the meaning of a word or an idea or a concept, you'll discover that much of the things you were thinking in the beginning were not the same things you end up thinking later. So knowing this, we proceed with this methodical kind of scientific approach, you know, which I'd say you invent this science. It's more an art than science, but let's call it a science for, you know, for fun, and let's get serious, you know, like, you know, have you ever thought about that? Like, you know, when you say it's time to get serious, yeah, okay, get serious. What does that mean? Like, get serious about doing the right thing, for example. Get serious about expressing yourself in the way you'd like to, and, you know, thwart any kind of misunderstanding, as in, like, you want to stop those things early. Misunderstandings can be carried out into further and further misguided acts, you know, is what I think. So if there's a misunderstanding out there between you and something you don't understand, I think you've got to have the front to say I don't understand, like, and try to, you know, and don't fight against the thing that you feel is kind of greater or more difficult than you. What you've got to do is become good enough to overcome that thing, rather than fight that thing that's bigger than you. Overcome that thing that is stopping you, you know, because that's really what it is. And the problem is not that other people are in your way. The problem is that you're going the wrong speed. You're traveling in a way that would endanger not only yourself but someone else. So sometimes the universe will protect you, you know, in a way. It will stop bad things from happening, so long as you do your bit. So, like, the universe won't 100% look after you. The universe will be there, of course, because you're in it, and you can use the laws that exist. Like, and I'm not talking about the human-made legal laws, although you do want to stay within those as well. If you love your freedom, you don't want to do anything that would have you incarcerated. No. So you'll avoid those things. But there's other things that you will avoid, right? But you shouldn't, like cleaning up. Cleaning up's a good one not to avoid. Don't avoid cleaning up or doing laundry, because you know that it's going to pile up on you. You're really making it worse. You know, when you say, I know something and I really need to front up and say it, you know, say something, but, or maybe I shouldn't say a word, you know, that will be kind of easier to not go there. Don't go there, you know, don't go there, people say. Just don't go there. Well, why not go there? Because if there's an elephant in the room, right, you're either gonna recognize the elephant in the room, or you're gonna say there's no elephant in the room. Okay, that's the understanding. Even the elephant agrees there's no elephant in the room. Let's talk about the elephants in the room, and they're the ones you know, nobody wants to admit it, that there is one. And look, it may not be a bad thing to have an elephant in the room, if you know what I mean. Like, some need an elephant in the room. Thought about that? You know, when people say, "Oh, we're not going to talk about the elephant in the room," that's the sarcasm meant by saying there is one. But if there is one, like, so what that usually means is there's something that has a hold or an influence that you don't enjoy, and you're saying, I don't want this elephant in the room. Like, what is it for? Well, it's a looming problem, isn't it? It's a dark cloud that somebody brings into the room with them, and you go, well, I just don't like being around the person, you know, at full stop. That's it. I disenjoy that. I do not enjoy being around a certain people or person, you know, and we're willing to say that sometimes to ourselves, of course, not publicly telling people, oh my God, like, why is this person turning up? Like, you know, all right. So you bury the hatchet with yourself to get by, and you don't want to, like, be the one that causes the ultimate throwdown contest, because what for? Like, so you've managed to stop someone else from doing what they want. Well done for you. Good for you. You stopped someone else from doing what they want. That's not a good thing. You don't get rewarded for that. You don't get rewarded for getting in someone's way, especially on purpose, right? You get in someone's way on purpose, right, when you've been told not to. Like, that's the ultimate dummy act, first of all, because you've made yourself enemies, haven't you? You've made yourself an enemy that way. And, you know, you're not going to really get very far when enemies have you in their sight, you know? So you won't get far. Just like I won't get far from the person tailing me. So I don't plan on getting far, you know what I mean? I don't plan on backing down, especially for someone who's got a lot of nerve to think that they could, first of all, take out someone greater than them. Nah, you know what? You can harm or injure someone greater than you, but that doesn't make you greater than them, okay? Just remember that. You may have been able to bring down somebody, right, who's a lot better than you. That's not a good thing. That's a worse thing. That's a much worse thing. What you've done is crippled your future, you know, because the things you do when you break other people's legs, don't you think that your legs are up for it, you know? Just like this mosquito here, like, you know, I know you're out for blood, so don't you think I'm going to squash you against the window if you, yo, man, Taro, I'm having a tirade, man. I've got the odds against me, man, just like you, 5-1, man, 5-1. That's all right. That's all right, you know, you just keep your cool. You just keep your cool. You don't want to be the one to blow. You don't want to be the one who draws. You don't draw. You just do not draw. You just leave it. And if people are going to draw, they're going to draw. That's what I think. And you put me in that situation. Tuco, Blondie, Angel Eyes. My favorite three are the gunfight in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly at the end. I always put myself in one of those three, and in every case, I don't draw. I don't draw. The bus, 9 days now. 9 days, haven't had it. I made one payment and I have not had it for 9 days. So yeah, the clock's ticking. The clock is ticking. There's not much I can do about it. They've got me like that. So whatever. Can't do much about it. I have to just deal with it, you know. So be the one who can deal. Don't be the one who goes down for the challenge and says, nah, that challenge was too great for me. I can't handle it. I can't handle having so many people not on my side. Okay, well, that means you've got to fight harder, as if you're 10 people. You know, if you're fighting against 100 people, you'll have to be 300 people, you know, to make sure. So if somebody, you know, you've checked out your opponent, okay, let's pretend you've checked out your opponents and you've said, all right, I can see what you're doing, I can see who you are, I can see how you've been playing it, and you've been showing the world what you want them to think of you, okay? But don't you think that's just the first bit? Because someone else will come along, right, who's seen that before. They've seen that whole thing before, that whole act. You've done it before. That's been done before, and you're doing that now, hoping that no one else has seen it. No, we've all seen it. So don't never go into the room thinking you're the original one. No, you're not. You're the unoriginal one, because you're going into a room where other people are. Yeah. So you're not the pioneer. When you've walked into a place and there's already people there. That's the thing I discovered. So when you are born into this world with no clothes on and no pockets and screaming, covered in blood, that's how we all began. You know what color we all were when we were born? Red. Okay? That's to change any of this thing about skin color. I do not believe in these things. I do not believe that anyone is any different from anyone else at bottom, at essentialism, when we're down to the essentials. No, we are not different. We have the same probably amount of everything, chromosomes and whatnot, skin cells on average, different pigmentation. So what? Pigmentation is from the sun, guys. Don't you know that the people who grew up in a cold place are white? Generally. And the people who grew up in a hot place are darker. It's as simple as that. And there's no other reason for it. Yes, each place you go has its own cultural thing. But that's not to be confused with the sun. That great thing up there caused all those colors, man. You are not the judge of color. You are a color yourself. Everyone is a color. No one can judge color. So that's the end of that. And in fact, I'm gonna throw that down for the whole world. The sun has caused you to see colors. So blame the sun and your relationship to it. That's all. And it's nobody else's fault. The colors you see. You may see red, you may see blue, purple, black, green, yellow. Whatever you see, that's up to you as well. You take responsibility for that. And don't blame other people for what you see. And if you're horrified by what you see, well, do something about it if you think you should. But don't be the one to just sit there judging. Now, here's one where I'm going to defend a friend of mine, because once again, they're up against the odds and they're being judged by people who, first of all, shouldn't throw stones when they live in glass houses. That's another one. Like, don't be the one to throw the first stone, because you're the one who probably needs it thrown at you. Isn't that true? The person who throws the stone first really should be the one that gets the stone. Like, So here's my advice. If you're going to pick up a stone and throw it at someone, try this. Hit yourself with it first. Make sure you owe somebody, because if you haven't been hit, then you got no reason to hit no one. Now, and if you hurt someone else just out of the blue, like they haven't touched you, but you've gone up to them and actually struck that person, well, here's what I'm going to say. It's a universal thing, and I believe everyone is prone to this. If you've done that, it's going to happen to you one way or another. Okay, so let's not beat around the bush in that way. Like, don't assume you can be the aggressor each and every time, because you won't be. You might be the aggressor today, but tomorrow you'll be the victim. That's true. Yeah, and you just don't know when, you know. And don't think that you're going to hide behind other people, because that won't happen. Other people won't stand and take bullets for you now. They just won't. So unless you had taken a bullet for somebody, no one's going to take one for you. Think about it. So why should anybody help anyone unless they had a good reason? Well, should we be doing that? Should we be saying we're going to be bad until we got a reason to be good? No, it's the other way. You be good until you have a reason not to be, okay? And then once you have that reason, you got to think about what that is. You got to think about that reason, and you got to say, am I justified, first of all, to make this judgment about somebody else? This is not about me. If this fight was just between you and yourself, all right, you can carve out a winner there, can't you? You can make a decision which part of you is going to win. Which part of you is going to prevail? Let's say the good and the bad of you are mixed up together in a brawl, and they're saying, no, we're going to tell people what we really think. And the other person says, no, you're going to be pragmatic, you're going to be tactful, and you're not going to F around and try and upset people for no good reason. Okay, so don't upset people. I reckon that's a good rule. Rule number one, I'd say, if you're going to live in society, don't upset other people. Do your best not to, because actually you're going to cause a problem for yourself, aren't you? If you've gone and effed around with someone, don't you think you'll get effed with at some point? Because you've put down the steps involved. Like, you've even done it so that the reverse can happen. So it's a bit like this. If you throw petrol, right, into a fire, that stream you're making will blow back right in your face, and the can you're holding is going to blow up in your arms, because when you throw petrol, that it just ignites all the way back to the can that you're holding. So don't ever do that in more ways than just that. And I mean, don't do that when it comes to throwing bile at other people. Just remember, you better be bile proof, and don't pick a weaker person to take the beating from you, because that's not going to work. Someone much stronger than you going to come, and you're going to take that beating just like you made somebody else do. Now look, that's just the way to proceed, so that you're peaceful. The whole point is being peaceful. You got to be peaceful. You got to find a way not to have a conflict, not to have a fight. But if you're looking for a fight, believe me, you'll find one, and you won't like it, because when you've got a plan, when you've got designs on someone, believe me, they can be reverse engineered, you know? So once you've got designs on someone, believe me, you're putting out into the universe how you can be taken yourself, right? So each time you set up a munitions factory and then you start aiming missiles into the airspace, hypothetically, where people are going to come, and then you're going to blow them out of the sky, okay? Well, let me say, you have just made the reverse engineered pathway to where that missile is, and they're just going to blow it up. So there you go. All your designs have turned and become self-destructive. Each time you've pointed a gun out, you have told the universe, this is where I can be got, just here. That's basically how it is. You're telling the world how you can be done over. So don't do it. Don't be the aggressor, because if you're the aggressor, yeah, well, you're showing the universe the way back to get you, isn't it? So you're leaving a calling card. If you really do something bad to someone, then I think you've left your, spiritual DNA all over it. So there you go. You're not going to get away from the spirit police. If you think you can, you can't. So there's something called the human spirit, and I think we invented it. I'm not sure if it's really a thing. Let's just say it's a thing, and let's hope it's real. Because if the human spirit isn't real, okay, then I'd say we're all in a bit of strife, because we've found ourselves in a very tricky, unclear territory of being alive. And what does it mean to be alive? So we're constantly having to ask ourselves what that means. I'm in this situation. What does it really mean? What's it all for? Why is it for me to deal with? Why should I be the one to make this decision for the world? But I think I need to. So like nobody else has come out and just said it. Well, not that I've heard, or not in quite this way. So I've made this decision that the world is going to be peaceful one way or another. Okay, so whether the wars that other people are in control of, whether they continue or not, my wish is going to come true, and that peace will happen. The world will become peaceful again, and I don't know when, and I really don't know how. But let's call it an elusive goal, one that I think we're all striving for in the background, but we don't know it. Because if you don't want a peaceful life yourself, right, I find that very hard to believe. Who would wish for a life full of war and conflict and brutality? Who wishes for a life like that? As in, whether you be the one to do it to others or have it done to you, you are still thinking that way. So have you ever seen like those slap competitions where, somebody slapped you and the feeling. So now it's your turn, and your slap's gonna be even harder than the one you got, right? So, but how much further can this go until you've just damaged each other, for no good reason, apart from proving who can take a hit? I mean, that's nothing to hold up as any kind of achievement. I can take a hit. Well, can you? Well, what are you really asking for then now? Because oftentimes, I thought, gee, if someone wants to kill me and God is behind them, well, I guess I can't win that one. If God is with you and you decide you want to kill me, well, okay, well, I can't fight you or your God, can I? That makes me doubly disempowered. Okay. So I don't go out in that way looking for wars and stuff. What I go out is looking for a peaceful road, a peaceful way that I'll be unimpeded. I won't be compromised, especially by careless kind of people who aren't thinking about anyone at all, not even themselves. They're probably just thinking about something completely trivial. I actually wonder myself what they're thinking about. I often wonder. As I, drive along very safely, making sure I'm not going to hit anyone at all. And I think I make it quite obvious that I have no plans of switching lanes or doing any sudden thing, right? But because I'm being so peaceful about it, I'm being so careful, slow down early, okay? Keep rolling, don't ever stop, just slow down early, keep rolling, that's it, you know? And the people who are really making an effort to push are going nowhere, you know? So I just let them go ahead of me because I don't want to be crushed in a stampede. No way. So if there's going to be a stampede, I'd rather be well behind that stampede or well ahead of it, you know, either way. But I'd rather be well behind it, actually, because I don't want it coming for me. I'd rather it be gone and I proceed after it in a peaceful way, you know. Who we got? Kenny. Hey, Kenny. We had Tyrone. We had Kenny. I think we had Jasmine. Oh, I couldn't really see, guys. The white light and the white writing. It's just all white. I've got the sun coming right in, yeah, right here. Whoa, see, it's really strong. It's beautiful, but because I got to drive, I can't really look up at it. It's a bit of a, yeah, makes it really hard to see. If they had a white screen with like a black black writing on a white like background, I'd be able to see that better, but not white writing. I cannot read white letters very well. I find that it's just a mess. I think it's not a good typeface. Like if you're looking at typed font, it's black. You need to read black letters, not white letters. I don't think they should do that. It looks very not really there, you know, like you think, oh, read this if you want, it's written in white. Come on, who writes in white? Paper's supposed to be white, isn't it? I mean, it's counterintuitive to put letters in white on a black background. It's reversed, it's not right. It's really not something to read, it's something to look at, isn't it? So, oh, well, sometimes I wonder. Because whenever you get an official document, it's never a black page with white writing, is it? It's a white page with black writing. So, I mean, yeah, it's never been stated like that, I guess, as fact, and said, like, how come on apps and things, they've always got those things counterintuitive, like, they make sure that it's not quite the way it should be if this was a real thing, you know? They want to make it like less, it's not really there unless it's on a white page with black writing, you know? Like when you're looking at a contract or something, it's always, yeah, black typed letter on a white piece of paper. That's how it is. It's not black screens with white writing. That's something else. And I don't know what they're doing with all that. I don't know why they keep playing with things like that. But what they're trying to do is find our buttons. You know, they're trying to. Well, look, the algorithm is trying to trigger a response from you each and every time, whatever that is. Like whether you're somebody who looks at XYZs or ABCs, you're going to get triggered into watching more XYZs and ABCs, you know. That's all. Because you get what you give, you know. They suggest to you things that you've seen. They may suggest an out of the blue thing, just for you know, there's always that random video you wonder where it came from or something. And how come you never saw any of those again, you know? Because look, there's so much out there. There's so much out there. Yeah, so we're at that dangerous part of the road now. So always leave a good space, because a big accident can only happen when there's little room. A little accident happens when there's heaps of room. And a big accident happens when you're going too fast, but a little accident happens when you're going slow. So, like, these are the facts we know, aren't they? So, you know, let it show. Which is easier, saying that you know or that you don't know? I think saying that you don't know is easy, and saying that you know is hard. So, yeah, do we shy away from hard things? Because I think when you shy away from a hard thing, you're done. Like, you'll never get anywhere, because if something's hard, you'll give up. That's it. But no, you shouldn't do that. You should, if something's hard, you should try harder. When things are hard, you try harder. Not, oh, it's too hard. It's too hard. Oh, this is so hard. If you're thinking things are hard, they will be. So I believe you've attracted it already if you've said that. Like, I'm having a hard day. Guess what? You're having a hard day. Sometimes I feel like just repeating back what I've heard so that the person can hear what they said. Because I think people talk and don't think about what they're saying quite often. You know, I'm no exception to that rule. But the thing is, I'm not willing. Oh no, sorry. I'm not ashamed or humiliated. I don't feel embarrassed. You know, that's the thing. And I think that when you lose your fear, you become spiritually bulletproof. Like, not actually bulletproof, but spiritually bulletproof. Nobody can break your spirit, which that means that, like, you won't shy away from something that's hard. Like, you know, when people give you something to do, right, for the first time, and then they see how you respond to it, and they see whether you're going to be like everybody else was, like trying to get away from the hard bit, just want to do the easy part. Okay, don't think that people haven't figured that out, and just they're going easy on you because they can't expect a lot from you. Now, the people who are giving you the most pressure and giving you the most headaches are usually the ones that can count on you because they need to, yeah? So you have to be capable in yourself to live up to that, like, if you want to. Like, if you want to work in well with others and not disappoint them, then put in that extra effort. Otherwise, yeah, other people will think less of you if you've done less for them. So the more you can do for someone else, the better it is for you. That's basically what I believe as well. The more you do just for you and not for anyone else, the less it's going to work. The more you do something for someone else, help somebody else, once you've made that effort comes to you too. Someone else will make an effort for you, and it will mean a lot. But if you never make that effort for someone else, don't never think someone's going to do it for you. They won't, because you need to make the reverse engineered pathway. If you've done something good for someone, you've opened up a potential gateway where a good thing could happen for you. Not in direct exchange, however, just down the track. Pay it forward. So the name of this feed today is Pay It Forward, and I love you a lot, and I'm going to go to work.